Hello YouTube and welcome to today's review of my Sony Walkman E344 media player. Probably the first thing you'll notice is that the video quality is quite different from what I have put out before. It's actually, I'm filming with my grandfather's Panasonic HD camera and not my regular point and shoot camera. And I would like to apologize to my subscribers who have been waiting for this review since I put out the unboxing, which was in like May of 2009, maybe. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. I was just extremely busy with school and stuff, but finally on March break, I have time to actually do a review. So, like I said, I'm going to be reviewing the Sony Walkman E344 media player. So let's get right into the review. Okay, so let's start out by looking at the, the general specs of the player. So it has a 2-inch diagonally measured screen. It comes in 8GB and 16GB capacities, to clarify, no 4GB. It is overall pretty thin. It has on the bottom a 3.5mm headphone jack and a kind of standard USB port, and I'm really happy because Sony, they used to use their own proprietary USB connectors, but now they've switched to a more general and more universally used connector. Here you've got the loop for your lanyard if you want to put one, hold switch right here, volume keys, and on the front you've got your control pad, this acting as an OK key and these acting as directional keys, as well as next track and previous track keys. And here you've got your back button and a options button. Nothing on the top and nothing on the left side. Now, I bought a case for it because my my unit before this, it broke. Also, you've probably noticed that this one is black. The one I had before is black and red. It broke, and I got a replacement, and I bought a case for it just to be on the safe side, and it's a very nice case with, if you'll see, there is a white part right here, this right here. That's so good when you have autofocus. If you see this white here, this is actually some reinforcement for the case. The case is made out of soft silicon, and this is out of a more dense and thicker silicon. So if you take it out, it is extremely shiny. It loves to collect fingerprints, as you can see. And to be honest, each time I take it out of the case, I feel kind of insecure with it. I feel more comfortable with it being in the case now, so let's put it back in and let's get started with the actual review. So to turn to the player on, you can either press just about any button, or if the last time you turned it off you put it on hold, you have to slide down the hold switch and press a button and it will turn on. Now the first thing I want to talk about is the battery life, which is kind of surprising to me because on this particular unit it isn't very good, and I've gone through two different Walkman units, and I've gone through the same one and a different, more early model, and I gotta say, on this one the battery life isn't too great, especially considering the fact that I had the same model, only a different color, and the battery was very good on that one, so I'm guessing it's just something wrong with my unit. So basically, if it lasts you it claims to last about 8 hours for video and like 30 hours for music. That's not really how much it will last you. At most, it will last you maybe 3 to 4 hours for video, and music, I'm not sure, maybe like something like 20 hours, 15 hours. So not very good, but still this player has a lot of benefits, and so most of the time they tend to outweigh the negative parts. Also, something I'd like to point out that I really don't like is that you can't create your own playlist directly on the MP3 player. You have to compile one through iTunes, and drag it to the player through this program called Content Transfer, which does come as a setup file on the player itself. So that's really annoying, especially because I got like, let's see, I think I have 390 songs, and for example, if I'm jogging or something, and I have it on shuffle, sometimes you just go through the songs that you don't like want to listen to while you're jogging. Well, that's just me. So let's start with the first option in the menu, which is shuffle all. Basically, it goes through the first song. It starts from the first song on your entire track list, and it goes through shuffle. So while we're here, let's take a look at the playback screen. So if the track is supplied with album art, it shows your album art here, shows the title here, artist here, album here, genre and year. This blue thing is actually the seek bar. Fast forward by holding these down, the left and right keys. This is the playing or pause button. I mean the icon, the notification icon. This is how much time is elapsed, and this is what play mode you're on, like shuffle or normal or repeat. And what you see here, the 2 is actually a equalizer preset. Well, this one's a customizable one, but you have quite a few equalizer presets. And here's obviously the battery meter. So let's get into the options. You can go through quite a few options if you press the options button during the playback screen. So play mode is basically pretty straightforward. You've got your normal, repeat, shuffle, shuffle, and repeat. Cover art basically shows you a more blown up picture of the cover art. Equalizer, I will actually get to that a bit later. Detailed information basically shows you the actual file name, the bitrate, the format, and the length. And they add to wish listing. I don't really get, because like it just shows, all it does is shows you like an icon of a shopping cart next to the track. I'm not going to show that. Alarm is pretty useful if it's like connected to a dock or like some speakers, because you can set a time when you want to resume playback. Sleep timer is basically if you want to set a specific, like for example, you wanted to tell, turn off in 30 minutes, that's what it's useful. And you can always access the clock display from the menu, no matter where you're at, which shows you like a clock and the date. These 2 dots actually represent the minute and hour hands. So now let me get into the equalizer. Okay, so basically the reason why I wanted to do the equalizer in a separate part, because let me tell you, the sound quality that comes out of this player, it beats the iPod big time. And it just all Sony Walkman MP3 players, that's what they're famous for. They're extremely good sound quality. It's advertised as really good quality, and let me tell you, it is very good quality. So basically in the equalizer, you've got quite a few presets, such as like none if you want to save battery and don't really care about music quality. I do, so the equalizer is extremely important for me. Heavy, pop, jazz, unique, custom one. Basically, you can just go and edit, bring down the levels, bring up the levels. It also has this thing called clear bass technology, as you can see here. It makes the bass very, very powerful without distorting the track, and it works. I love the bass that comes from this unit, and I actually did a comparison with my friend's iPod. I took the exact same MP3 file, the exact same track, put it on his, put it on mine, listened at like the exactly same volume, with the exactly same earphones. Seriously, this, by sound quality, this wins over the iPod big time. Like, I know people were commenting on my other Walkman review that, iPod has, like, apps, and so it's so much more functional. Well, yeah, but, you know, if you're an audiophile like me, then this is the way to go. And especially because that Sony Walkman, they do have, like, something similar to the iPod Touch. It does have Wi-Fi, of course, like not as popular, therefore not as much apps or anything for that particular unit, but still. Okay, basically the next menu item is FM radio. I have some presets. You can set it to auto preset, and obviously I can't do any auto presets now because I don't have any earphones connected. You can tune into any frequency you like and save it as a preset. Here you can change the scan sensitivity, mono, auto. As I mentioned before, you can access the clock display from really any no matter where you are in the menu or the user interface on the player. You can also go to in some cases you can go to the song playback screen, which is basically the last track you left off with. For example, here it was 21 Guns, which I was demonstrating the different audio and playback options. FM radio, the quality is pretty good. Also, I can show you the time. And if you press the play button while listening to the radio, it doesn't really put it on pause because you can't record or do anything like that. It just basically mutes the audio. There is a clock display option from the menu. Here it is. Photos. So I put some Windows from Microsoft, some sample photos just so you can see the screen quality, because the screen quality is very nice, and unfortunately, I don't know how well the camera will bring that to you, but let me tell you, the screen quality is very nice. Also, you can, if you have a folder with a bunch of pictures, you can start a slideshow. In fact, you can change some settings such as slideshow repeat and slideshow interval. You can also change the brightness from here. Again, clock display. And detailed information, basically it shows you the resolution, the file size, and the file name. And if you press the play button, it will start doing a slideshow, as you can see by the play icon here. So there you go, screen quality. It's a 320 by 240 resolution, so just like the previous generation iPod Touches, but still the video quality is very awesome. So now let's get into the videos. Actually, before we get into the video option of this player, let's actually get into the menu item of music, because I realized I forgot to show you that. I only showed you a single song with a playback screen, but let's actually go into the menu item of music. So you have here 6 options: all songs, album, artist, genre, release year, and folder. Let's start with all songs. It goes by alphabetical order. Also, useful feature, if you have a lot of songs like me, you can basically, while you're in the menu, press these keys and scroll through the different letters. So I have quite a few here, so that is actually really helpful. Album basically shows you a preview of the album art and the name of the album. Artist, it shows you the different artists you have. Genre shows you the genres. By the way, if there are no specific ID3 tags attached to the song, it will show anything in unknown, anything where there is no ID3 tags. Also, release year. Now this part's kind of weird because it has 4 unknown sections, and even it goes by some release years. For some reason it shows, I don't know, it just messes up the release years of the songs. So a song that's really from 2009, it shows as a song from 2000. Well, but I don't really mind that. At least it's playable. And finally, the folder, it shows you different folders that you have on the MP3 player, and also the actual file names of you can listen to a track through the folder option, but it's going to show you by file name and not by song title. So now we'll get into the video option. Now, every time people see me watching a movie on this MP3 player, they're thinking how can I watch this on such a tiny screen? Believe me, if the screen has a very good resolution and has very crisp quality, it will be just as much fun watching a movie on this MP3 player as watching it as on a portable DVD player or a TV even. So I have quite a few movies here. They take up about maybe 500, 600 megabytes in total. Don't ask about Tourette's guy. It's a long story. But I'm not going to show you any movies, by the way, because of copyright reasons, obviously. But it's actually very nice to watch movies on this. And what a lot of you are probably wondering, what video converter do I use? I use this video converter is called Leawo, spelled Leawo. I will give you a link in the description to the CNET download page. So if you want to download the video converter, you can make sure that it will come with no viruses or anything. Basically, it's a free converter. It can convert unlimited. Times of. Basically, if you have like an hour-long movie, it won't stop at, say, 10 minutes. It will convert the whole thing. Just the video quality, you can only set maximum video quality as medium. But still, that is really nice. And audio quality, you can choose whatever you want. But personally, I set it to low, so it takes up not as much space. And you can still hear everything pretty well. So, once again, I'll give you a link in the description to the video converter that I use. Now let's actually get into the settings. Settings is pretty general and straightforward. Like, you've got music settings here. Basically, you have all the equalizer and the play mode, all what you saw in the playback. Video settings is basically zoom settings. I really don't know what that does, but anyways, video orientation, you can do vertical or horizontal, and display is basically if you're gonna watch a movie. Off is basically if you don't want to see all of these like task bars. You could say on, we'll leave them all on through the whole movie. Photo settings, just some general stuff. FM radio settings, you all saw that in like the different menu items. Now here's the more interesting part. You can like choose you can choose a volume limit. You can choose like a beep setting, a screensaver, brightness. You can't customize your own screensaver, it's just a clock. Set date and time, reset all settings, and format the MP3 player. And language settings, it supports many different languages on the user interface, as well as actual song titles and stuff. And basically, on the other two parts of the menu are playlists and now playing, which basically shows you whatever media you were watching last. So let's get into the other features of this player. Okay, well, there aren't actually any more, not that much more features of this player, but before we finish up the video, I would like to say that most MP3 players nowadays just come with a USB cable. Let's turn it off, by the way, so we don't waste battery. When you turn it off, you will see this screen, and also to power off, you hold down the options key. Then, just in case if you're carrying it in your pocket, you don't want like anything to press, you just slide up the hold switch and you're good to go. Anyways, most MP3 players nowadays come with just a USB cable and no wall charger. Basically, I found out this interesting thing a while ago. If you have a Motorola or BlackBerry charger, you can actually plug this into the wall. I mean, like a BlackBerry charger for the more older BlackBerries, like not the one with just the regular mini USB and not the ones with the micro USB, which are like super tiny. But anyways, you can use a Motorola charger from, let's say, a Razer or a BlackBerry charger to actually charge this, because the voltage of the battery, like how much power the battery intakes and how much the charger outputs, it's actually the same. So this will it will charge it, so you don't have to, if you have a BlackBerry or Motorola charger, you don't always have to charge the player at a computer. You can just plug it into the wall and you're good to go. That is actually the only thing I use. Thank you for watching for my review of the Sony Walkman E344 media player. Again, sorry for putting it off for so long, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and well, what can I say? Hopefully there will be more to come. Thanks for watching.